women don't want a nice guy. Well, actually, that's complete bullshit. Women love nice guys. The issue is that most guys do it the wrong way. And if you don't do this one specific thing, well then trust me, she's going to put you into the friend zone faster than you can blink, bro. So in this video, I'm going to explain the truth about what women actually want, the lie and the bullshit of women don't like nice guys and nice guys finish last, and how to do this in a way that actually hooks that girl and keeps her in your life, okay? Now, let's dive into the research first and foremost, because I don't want to be that guy who just gives you a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of red pill knowledge and blah, blah. No, none of this is based on my experience. Even though my experience backs this up, I'm instead going to base this off of science and what the data shows. Because there's so many dating coaches out there who base everything off of their own personal blah, 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 all their bullshit, but they don't have anything to back it up. Okay? So here's what the data says. This is based on The Evolution of Desire by David M. Buss. And basically what they did is they interviewed and studied the statements and the actions of tens of thousands of women all across the world in 37 different countries. So this isn't just America, this is worldwide. What works for women all across the world. And what they found out was that one of the key things that women look for in a man is kindness and warmth. Now, a very interesting quote, though, is this. Women desired kindness in a mate, especially when it was directed towards them, and less so when it was directed towards other people or other women. Let me say that again. Women desired kindness in a mate, especially when it was directed towards them, and less so when it was directed towards other people or other women. Women prize dispositions in men to commit their resources selectively rather than indiscriminately. Okay? Now, here's the thing, bro. Like, I'm going to break this down because I've done hundreds and hundreds of hours of research into psychology, into evolutionary biology, into sexual dynamics, into female psychology, female sexuality. I've broken this stuff down to a science, and I'm going to make it simple for you. Women want a nice guy. Women want a kind man. Women want a man who is warm towards them. But the key thing to note here is twofold. Number one is towards them. And number two is kindness, not weakness. Now, here is where most guys mess up and why there's this common ideology nowadays that nice guys finish last. Okay? Where most guys mess up is that they're so nice and so sweet to her and so caring, but they haven't yet shown her their strength. Because here's the fact of the matter. Like Jordan Peterson says, you have to be a monster, but you have to be able to sheath your sword. She has to see your sword, that you have strength, but that you have the ability to put a sheath on the sword for her. If you don't have the sword, if you have no claws, if you have no teeth, you're useless. Because again, from the perspective of history, from the perspective of 5,000 years ago, again, all of our attraction, all of this stuff that happens in our brains automatically that makes women attracted to you in the first place, all of that isn't based on her logic. No, it's based on her and her ancestors wanting to have survived over the past thousands and thousands of years. All of this stuff, all of this attraction stuff and these sexual drives, it's based on survival. And historically, it wasn't the nice guy who had no standards, who had no boundaries, who gave up his stuff to everybody, who was super generous to everybody, who had no backbone. It wasn't that guy who could take care of her. It was the guy who was strong, who was masculine, who was a leader, who could fight, who could hunt, who could lead the tribe, but who also used his generosity specifically towards her. Who wasn't just kind, who wasn't just giving up his things to everybody and had no backbone, but no, he used his resources and his generosity specifically. And he was able to be a strong provider out in the world and go hunt out in the world and be a leader and a man out in the world, but also to use that selectively towards her. Okay? So the issue is that when a woman sees that you're just super nice and super kind when she hasn't earned it, when you barely even know her yet, well, now she's like, okay, this guy, he seems kind of weak. He seems like, he's not very high status. He seems like if he's this nice to me, he's probably this nice to everybody. And it turns her off. And again, this isn't just me saying this. This is what the science says. And when you can instead be the man who is strong, who is grounded, who is a leader, who is masculine, but who is also kind to her, who's warm towards her. The guy who can go out and crush and conquer and destroy in the world, but then bring a softer side back to her and still dominate her sexually and still lead her and still do it all in a loving way. Well, now she's so polarized. Now she's like, wow, this guy, he's the gentleman, he's the warrior, he's the savage, he's everything. What the fuck is like, what's happening? And now she's just like going in this emotional roller coaster, like, oh my goodness, I love this guy. It's all because you tapped into all of the contrasting, conflicting drivers in her. Okay? They don't only want the asshole. They don't only want the bad boy. They don't only want the nice guy. They want all of them in the same man. And I hear guys complaining all the time. Oh, I think I'm too nice with women. I think that they just don't like nice guys. No, it's bullshit, bro. It's complete bullshit. I'm nice to my women. I treat my girls amazing. Amazing. But they know that I have abundance, that I'm strong, that I'm out in the world conquering, that if they treat me the wrong way, if they stop treating me with respect, if they start pulling up games, I'm going. And when a woman knows that you're being nice out of choice and not out of necessity, then she respects you. Okay? Namaste.